Hello, dear friends. I am Licentia, a curious and responsible 16-year-old citizen of Licentia, the city where licenses and copyrights are valued most. For me, the digital world is a magnificent realm where creativity and knowledge are shared without limits. However, alongside this freedom, respecting the rights of every creator and sharing in accordance with the law is our most fundamental principle. The core value I represent is the fair and legal sharing of digital content in compliance with licensing terms. For me, every piece of information, every work of art, every idea is brought into existence through labor. Respecting this labor, accurately citing sources, and not using the works of others without a valid license is what I believe in. That's why I say, think before you share, respect copyright. My symbols, the open book, represent the source of knowledge and creativity and the fact that every work has a rights holder, while the scales of justice remind me that every share should be lawful and fair. Now, I would like to share a few examples with you that show how vital the values I represent are in the digital world. Respect the work of others. Copyright infringement. The other day, I saw a wonderful animation created by a friend for the school project competition. The animation was so impressive that many people started sharing it on their social media accounts. However, after a while, we noticed that none of the shares mentioned the name of the friend who created the animation. Some were even presenting it as their own work. I immediately intervened and tried to explain to my friends that when sharing a work, it is essential to mention its creator as a sign of respect for their labor and, most importantly, respect for copyright. This situation is also a form of intellectual property theft. Eventually, everyone corrected their shares and apologized to my friend. Remember, presenting the digital works of others without a valid license or as your own is against the law and unethical. If possible, also refer to the license information of the content you share. Getting permission matters. License terms. Once, I really wanted to use a music track I loved as background music for a video I was making. The track was so popular that I thought, everyone uses it, nothing will happen. However, after talking to a friend from Licentia who knows the license rules very well, I learned that this could mean violating copyright laws. I immediately contacted the music owner and asked for permission, license to use it. Getting permission took some time, but in the end, I was able to use the music in my video legally. This experience taught me how important it is to always obtain a valid license or ask for permission before using the digital content of others, no matter how small it may seem. Remember that different content may have different types of licenses, e.g., Creative Commons, and we should carefully read the terms of use of these licenses. Turn to reliable information sources, legal and ethical information. I saw a post on a forum about a very controversial topic. The post contained assertive statements, and many people immediately believed it. However, a voice inside me asked, is this information reliable, and is the content legal? When I did some research, I realized that the source of the post was not trustworthy and that the claims were actually false. I even suspected that some of the visuals shared were taken from unlicensed and illegal sources. I immediately wrote a comment on the forum, urging everyone to verify information from different reliable and legal sources and to be careful about the unauthorized use of copyrighted materials. Remember, information pollution can be very common in the digital world. Turning to accurate and legal sources is part of both our ethical and legal responsibility. Dear friends, the most important thing I have learned in Licentia is that everything we share in the digital world comes with a responsibility. Respecting the labor of others, obtaining valid licenses or asking for permission, and using accurate, legal sources will make the digital environment a fairer, more reliable place where the rights of creators are protected. Let's all check the license before sharing and be conscious digital content sharers who respect copyright.